Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hari Bolo. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Nitai Gaura Hari Bo. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paripajagacharya Ashtottara Sadasri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Prabhupada Noga ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaura Premanande. All glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Daivim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 12 of 6th canto, 7th shloka. Yuyud satam kutrachid atatayinam jayha sadai katrana vaiparatmanam Vinaikamutpatti layastitishwaram sarvagyam adyam purusham sanatanam. Please repeat. Yuyutsatam kutrachet atatayinam jayah sadaikatra navai paratmanam. Vinaikamutpati layastitishwaram sarvagyam adyam purusham sanatanam. Yuyutsatam kutrachet atatayinam jayah sadaikatra navai paratmanam. Vinaikamutpati layastitishwaram sarvagyamadhyam purusham sanatanam. Yuyutsatam kutrachet atatayinam jayah sadaikatra navai paratmanam. Vinaikamutpati layastitishwaram sarvagyamadhyam purusham sanatanam. Ladies, Matajis. Yuyutsatam, of those who are belligerent. Kutrachit, sometimes. Tatayinam, armed with weapons. Jayah, victory. Sada, always. Ekatra, in one place. Na, not. Vai, indeed. Para Atmanam, of the subordinate living entities who work only under the direction of the super soul. Vina, except. Ekam, one. Utpatti, of the creation. Laya, annihilation. Sthiti, and maintenance. Ishwaram, the controller. Sarvagyam, who knows everything, past, present, and future. Adyam, the original. Purusham, enjoyer. Sanatanam, eternal. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace HH Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Vritrasura continued, O Indra, no one is guaranteed of being always victorious, but the original enjoyer, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. He is the cause of creation, maintenance, and annihilation. And He knows everything. Being dependent and being obliged to accept material bodies, belligerent subordinates are sometimes victorious and sometimes defeated. Purport, the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 15.15, Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mattah smritir jnanam apohanam cha. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. When two parties fight, the fighting actually goes on under the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is Paramatma, the Super Soul. Elsewhere in the Gita, the Lord says, Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashah ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. The bewildered spirit soul, under the influence of the three modes of material nature, thinks himself the doer of activities that are in actuality carried out by nature. The living entities work only under the direction of the Supreme Lord. The Lord gives orders to material nature, and she arranges facilities for the living entities. The living entities are not independent, although they foolishly think themselves the doers. Karta. Victory is always with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As for these subordinate living entities, they fight under the arrangement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Victory or defeat is not actually theirs. It is an arrangement of the Lord through the agency of material nature. Pride in victory or moroseness in defeat is useless. One should fully depend on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is responsible for the victory and defeat of all living entities. The Lord advises niyatam kuru karmatvam karmajyayo hi akarmanah. Perform your prescribed duty, for action is better than inaction. The living entity is ordered to act according to his position. Victory or defeat depends on the Supreme Lord. Karmani evadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of actions. One must act sincerely according to his position. Victory or defeat depends on the Lord. Vritrasura encouraged Indra, saying, don't be morose because of my victory. There is no need to stop fighting. Instead, you should go on with your duty. When Krishna desires, you will certainly be victorious. This verse is very instructive for sincere workers in the Krishna consciousness movement. We should not be jubilant in victory or morose in defeat. We should make a sincere effort to implement the will of Krishna or Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We should not be concerned with victory and defeat. Only our duty is to work sincerely so that our activities may be recognized by Krishna. Om Tat Sat Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Makyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sakitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidhinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jayasi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Somebody can translate in Tamil for all of them in the corner. Please. Tamil மொழிபெயர்ப்பு அங்க நடக்கிறது. கொஞ்சம் அங்க போய் பாருங்க. So, we are reading Vritrasura's glorious death. Yesterday, we read about the transcendental qualities of Vritrasura. And today, we are exposed to this comment by Vritrasura, telling Indra, don't worry about victory or defeat. Kill me. Anyway, nobody is guaranteed of victory or defeat but the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. So, dependent human beings who accept material bodies and who are belligerent subordinates. Belligerent means angry, disobedient, arrogant subordinates. Only they suffer victory and defeat. But if you are Krishna conscious, if you are actually completely dependent on the Lord, then you become beyond victory and defeat. Sukha dukkha samekritva labho alabho jaya ajayo tato yuddhaya yujjasva naivam papam avapsasi. Krishna is telling Arjuna, jaya ajayo, victory or defeat. Sukha dukkha samekritva. When you are happy or you are sad, labha alabha, gain and loss, jaya ajayo, victory or defeat, simply render your duty. You should simply render your duty, what you are supposed to do. Because by rendering your duty perfectly, you are actually worshipping the Supreme Lord. This is the meaning of people saying duty is very important. But they don't know the philosophy behind it. You see, karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana, why is Krishna saying that here? Simply do your duty. Duty does not mean you blindly do your duty. You do your duty with knowledge. You do your duty with knowledge. Why? The knowledge is sve sve karmanya viratah samsiddhim labate naraha. Sve sve karmani. Everybody does their duty. Samsiddhim labate naraha. Samsiddhi. You will get perfection. Labate. You will achieve. Naraha. The human being. Everybody has got a prescribed duty to do in this world. And that prescribed duty, by doing, you worship the Supreme Lord. That prescribed duty is told to you by Guru, by the Shastra. What is your type of duty? What you should do, what you should not do. Varna and Ashrama, according to that. Everybody's duty is written down. It is not that each one makes up his own duty. I know my duty. I have written it down myself, according to my own speculation. It doesn't work like that. Everybody has got a duty to perform. You are not very free. Don't think you are free to do what you want. You are only free to do your duty. If you're really interested in understanding how this whole system works, where you are, then you must read a Shastra. You must read the scripture under a bona fide Guru. And you must understand how to act and how not to act, what to do and what not to do. Kim karmeti, kim akarmeti, kavyopyatra mohita. Tatte aham pravakshyami yajnatva mokshiyate ashvat. What to do and what not to do, even the most intelligent people get bewildered. I am going to mention that to you. So, action, doing things is very important. You have to do it thoughtfully, correctly. We should not be whimsical in what we do. Every action of ours, we should nicely meditate, think about it, and then do. Because everything has got consequences. Everything has got consequences. So, action, how to act, all that is important because the results of this action will follow you throughout your next lives also. Don't take it lightly. So, people in Vedic culture, they know that this reaction will chase me. So, they're very careful about what they do. They also make mistakes. It's not that they don't do. Indra has made a very big mistake. What mistake has he done? He has chopped off the head of Vishwarupa, who is a Brahmana. He's done Brahma Hatya. And he is Indra, king of the heavens. He himself has done this mistake. What to speak of you and me? And he's suffering because of that mistake. Suffered a lot. Another mistake he did is when Brihaspati, the guru of the Devas, came to the assembly, he didn't even get up. He and Sachi Devi, his wife, were sitting on the big throne. All the Apsaras were dancing, Ramba, Kilottama, Menaka, everybody dancing. And everybody drinking Somarasam. And Brihaspati came there. They were celebrating. Brihaspati came there and he did not even get up to receive his guru. Guru has come. Let me receive him. Let me pay respects to him. He didn't do. He was in a stupor. Very powerful I am, sitting on the asana. I am the king of the heavens. I am great and I drink Somarasa and I am feeling fine. Anyway, that guru of him, let him come, let him go. He did not understand what he is doing. Right? And Brihaspati disappeared. He made a very big mistake. Because of that, the demons attacked the Devas and took over. They attacked and took over. Translation is going outside in Tamil. So, you must understand what is happening. If you make a mistake, you have to suffer that. Reactions to that come. So it is mentioned here, you should be careful what you do. Because some amount of mistakes anyway you will make. But if you have a knowledge, you will only make mistake and you will not repeat it. But if you don't have knowledge, mistake will become part of your life. You keep on doing wrong things and you will think that is right. That will become life. Your life itself will become one big mistake. Because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know why you're doing. You don't have any guidance. Nobody teaching you. So it is okay to actually know what is right and mostly perform right. Sometimes make a mistake. That is still agreeable because in this world, invariably everybody is afflicted by dosha. Sahajam karma kaunteya sadosham apinat yachet sarvarambahi kaunteya dhumenatni rivavrata. Every work in this world, every endeavor in this world is covered by some mistake. Sahajam, it is common, Krishna is telling to Arjuna, it is common that people make mistakes because they are imperfect. Sahajam karma kaunteya sadosham. With dosha only they will do things. But that does not mean you should give up that activity. Oh, I am not able to do properly, I made mistake. Natyajet, don't give it up. Continue. Sarvarambahi kaunte, everything in this world is covered by some mistake, just like fire is always covered by smoke. Dhumen agnir ivavrata. Ivavrata means it's covered. Dhuma means smoke. Agni means fire. Just like that, everybody makes mistake. So Indra made a mistake and he suffered that. Reactions to that. I made a mistake. I did something wrong. I am the leader. I have to suffer it. Can somebody share it? And he gave portion of the sinful activity to, it's mentioned here. He gave some to women, some to trees, which took it as sap, some to water, some to the bhumi, which became deserts. All these things are the reactions for Indra's wrong. So, whatever we do will chase us. So, Vritrasura is telling, simply do what you're supposed to do. You don't worry about victory, defeat, and all. We are all instruments. We are all instruments in the hand of the Supreme Lord. What are you? Who are you? Don't think you're very great. You may be having the title Indra, right? But you should just do what you're supposed to do. Doesn't matter you're Indra. And in this way, we should also understand that a life without purpose is a life that is filled with lot of mistakes and confusion and, dejection and not knowing at any time what is right, what is wrong. Most of human society is like that. Sometimes people get stuck in some routine thing, and somehow or the other that routine is not so bad. So they get stuck in the routine because they're afraid that if I'm not in that routine, I will start doing wrong things. Nobody is there to tell me the right. So I get stuck in some routine. Get a job, go morning, evening, come back, safe. Because if you leave me free, I speculate and I don't know what to do, what not to do. Give me a routine. Give me something to do from morning to evening. This is Shudra. Shudra means ignorant. I don't know is called Shudra. Janmana Jayate Shudra. Everybody is born Shudra when he is taken birth. First your birth. Samskarat Bhavet Dhuja. Then by samskara you become purified and you become Dhuja, twice born. Vedapatat Bhavet Vipra. Then you learn scripture, Veda, under a guru. Then you become learned, Vipra. Brahmajanat iti Brahmana. Then, when you come to know what is the truth, what is Brahman, who am I, who is Krishna, God, what is this world, then you become a Brahmana. Brahmana means one who knows Brahman. Right? So everybody is born Shudra. Everybody is born in ignorance. Right? But if you remain in ignorance without cultivating knowledge, that is very unfortunate. So a lot of us are dumbed down by no education of any type. Although we are human beings, very precious life. Our leaders just want us to go get a job. Because this big machinery has to work. Economy. And all of you should be engaged in the machinery. Must get a work. So human life is designed and set up in such a way, everybody should work to make this economy move. But there's another one economy already set up by Krishna. That economy, Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita in the 3rd chapter. He says, I have given you demigods, devatas, and you need food. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyad anna sambhava yajnad bhavati parjanyo yajnakarma samudbhava. I have given my system, God-given laws and God-given system. What is that? You perform, you need food to eat. Anna. Annad bhavanti bhutani. All living entities subsist on food grains. How do you get grains? Parjanyad anna sambhava. Rains come and you get grains. And how do you get the rains? Yajnat bhavati parjanya. By doing yajna, by doing offering to the Supreme, rains are sent by the devatas. Yajna karma samudbhava. Right? By the Vedas, you will get to know how to perform this Homa Yajna. And when you do that, you will get rains. When you get rains, you can get grains. When you get grains, you can get food to eat. Food is looked after. And then simple things like, looking after some cows will give you many other things also that you need. Simple living just to maintain your body so that you can actually worship the Supreme Lord, understand what is the truth, what is the reality, who am I, what am I doing. All these things you will get to know. You should keep very low level of material operation. Jagannath Baladev Subhadramai ki. Material operation should be kept low, just to the point. Because the main business of life is to understand who am I? What is the truth? Right? So that is the way Krishna has designed society. Simple living, high thinking, Prabhupada told us. But what has happened now, it's the other way around. Material living has become very complicated and requires a lot of our effort. And we have unnecessary requirements. And the whole society is struggling under that. And nobody is paying any time to the real business of life. To know who am I? No time. No time to know about God. No time to know who am I. Just stop. Wait a little bit. Think about no time. I'm very busy. You are very busy with what? What are you so busy with? Should take an internal audit of what you're doing, why you're doing, why are you busy? Who is benefiting by this busyness? Actually, you are not benefiting anything by being very busy. Finally, you get nothing. You just die like a dog. All your busyness is converted into money and somebody else uses it. This is exactly what's happening. Some very smart fellows are making you work. They are not working. They are not working much. They're using you and making all the money. And you run around and you think, I am great, very good at my work. You give me anything, I will do like that. That's the meaning of a Shudra. Shudra means lowest level. Kim kara, give me some work, I will do it. Actually, it's not good. But our culture now is, it's very great to work. You're working, you're very good. You're a good human being. You're a responsible human being. You're working, you're bringing money, looking after your family, doing all your duty, doing all your so-called duty, and one day you die. And what do you get finally? Nothing. Actually, you got nothing. Because you didn't use your brain and do work. You didn't use your thought. What am I doing? Why am I doing? What do I want in life? And they're telling, don't think, don't think. If you think long hours from, simply come and do work and go. Take money. You want money? No? You take money. Don't think. Every one of us is stopped from thinking deeply. Critical thinking, you're not allowed to do. They keep you very busy. Either you're busy at work or they give you money to have sense gratification. So when you're not working, you're having sense gratification. You're never allowed to think, what is life? Who am I? Why am I doing this? No, don't think. Keep you very busy. This is material nature. Material nature's closest helpers are these fellows. All these big guys. They're all, hand in glove, working together. And they don't know they're being utilized also. They think I am king. So many people are under me. He also dies in the end like a dog. Nothing that he used comes with him. It's a big plan. If you do not follow Krishna's plan, then you will see that you're utilized by material nature. So Vritrasura is saying, no use, defeat this thing. No, it's not under your hands. You are just an instrument. You are stuck. You work like what you're supposed to. Take your weapon, kill me. Because me, I am not like you. Although I'm in the body of an asura, I'm a devotee. And I know I'm going back to Godhead when you kill me with that weapon made out of Dadichi's bones. When you kill me, I go back to Godhead. You stay here and do Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. Again and again you can go round and round. But you're calling me Asura and you're Deva. I go back to Godhead and you stay here. This is what is going to happen. This is what is going to happen. Because why? I know the real meaning of action. I know what is supposed to be done, what is not supposed to be done. And I am doing like that. Although externally I am an Asura, you are going to have a destination that is very bad. You're going to be born here again and again. You will look for post. Again, you will try to be Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, Agni, and your life will be filled with all these anxieties, defeat, loss, gain, all these dualities, dvandva, moha will affect you, and you will carry on with life. These are all very foundational statements. The Bhagavatam is stating very clearly the same thing that is applicable to us. Life is not simply doing your duty. Life is applying the brakes and saying, why am I doing the duty? What is the duty that I'm doing? Where am I going? Vritrasura knows where he is going. Vritrasura knows what is happening. Vritrasura knows on the battlefield that you are going to kill me and I am going to go back to Godhead. But you are not going back to Godhead because you are not yet ready. That also he knows about Indra. So there are internal things that every one of us know which pertains to our spiritual life. And the external things which everybody knows is what they value, which actually is temporary. So there are Indra moments of our life, and there are Vritrasura moments of our life. And that Vritrasura moment is only one moment. You go back to Godhead. But there are many Indra moments of our life. Why? Because we keep on wanting to do the same thing without understanding what Vritrasura is actually trying to say. Right? Serving Krishna, engaging in devotional service is so important, so vital to the soul. And if somehow the other he engages in bhakti yoga, in devotional service to the Lord, so many wonderful things happen. And he may not understand it if he is not educated, if he has not read the scriptures under Guru, he may not know. But even if he does not know, it has effect on him. That is the wonderful thing about devotional service. So Indra actually knows these things. But he's made a mistake and he got himself into trouble. And Vritrasura has been very careful. So-called mistake he made, which is actually not a mistake. He laughed and smiled at Parvati sitting on Lord Shiva's lap. And he said, see, Shiva, what a great personality he is. Nobody understands who he is, like that. He spoke about devotion of Lord Shiva, but Parvati did not like it. She cursed him and said, you go, you're laughing at me and my husband Shiva, you go and be born in the body of an Asura, go. But she did not know Chitraketu is a very great devotee. Lord Shiva immediately told her, no use of your curse. Swarga apavarga narakeshu api tulyartha darshinaha Narayana parayana sarve na kutaschana bibhyati. They don't worry about your curse at all. Actually, your curse will have no effect on a devotee. Why? He will go to hell also and be happy. Why? Because his mind is fixed in the absolute truth. There's no relativity that can affect him. In a relative world, when you're not fixed in the absolute truth, you get really rock up and down. But if you're fixed in the truth of Krishna consciousness, then whatever happens to you, that connection will save you from everything else. That is what you must do devotional service. Devotional service means you're holding on to the absolute truth. to the only reality. And because holding on to that reality, any of these temporary material things, whatever they do to you, you will not be affected by it. Although it is happening to you, you're not affected. So Vritasura, you can see on the battlefield, his arms get cut by Indra. Still, he'll come with one arm and box Airavata and Indra. Fall down, his weapon will fall down. Say, get up, take your weapon, fight with him. With one hand, cut. And then both his hands get cut. Then also he will speak to Indra. And all the time he is very happy. Even though he's fallen down, you can see that he is happy. And Indra will finally kill him. And he's saying, when you kill me, I'll go back to God. Right? So it's a very interesting phenomenon here. Yesterday we discussed that in detail. It's a very interesting thing going on. So you see, very rarely do people get the opportunity to do the right thing in life. For that you need guidance of an exalted Mahatma, pure devotee. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada is told this is what human beings should do in Kali Yuga. Chant the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Render service to Krishna in the deity form. Render service with your mind, intelligence, and word. Study the Gita, study the Bhagavat. Remain in the association of devotees. And he has set up this wonderful institution everywhere. This is the way to protect human beings. What the rest of the world does, let them do. Because they won't listen. He said they are rascals. They don't listen to the word of God. But there should be example in human society of people who listen to Krishna's instructions and perform and are happy and are protected. They should watch this. Then only they will come and join. Because there should be some example somewhere to show everybody this is the way to live life and this is the way to be successful and happy. He wanted to create models so that people will see and then they will join. He was such a wonderful genius of a person. So he established these centers all over the world. Here people practice, devotees practice Krishna consciousness. And for the people outside, it looks very strange. I mean, get up 3:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock, you must be mad fellows here. No, actually it's not mad. It's the right thing to do. You chant 16 rounds of japa, the same mantra again and again you chant. At least you change the mantra. No, you chant the same thing again. You won't drink coffee, tea also. No, we don't need to. I don't feel like drinking. You don't go to movies and you don't go to restaurants now. We don't have to eat the best food in the world here, offered to Krishna. We don't have to. Something wrong with you people. Which planet are you from? We are all Earth planet. We are from Earth planet only. This is the way to live on the Earth planet. By the way, I think something wrong with you. Yanisha sarvabhutani yasyam jagrati samyami. It seems Krishna is telling in the Bhagavad Gita, for people who do the right thing, the bulk of the world thinks, these fellows are doing something very different. What material nature has told me to do, I am doing. And everybody is doing that. And these fellows are all doing something different. They're getting up early in the morning and chanting Hare Krishna. Very different. But they look happy. Something wrong with them. But still something right with them. You know that this is what you're supposed to do from inside. From inspiration of the super soul. Prabhupada says here, super soul will tell you that this is correct. And that will be such a strong conviction you will have. It's coming from inside you. And you just move towards it. And so many people and your mind will shout loudly and say, don't, that is wrong, that is not correct. But actually that is correct. What the super soul, Paramatma, is telling you and what you feel as conscience, that you don't know where to put your finger in, that is the voice. Although your mind and your intelligence is telling, see, calculate correct. If you do this is all the material calculations you put, still something is telling you, don't do it. That thing is not correct. Because you have been educated in Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavat, and you are being told. Vritrasura is like that. He follows that only. And is very confident. You go ahead, you do what you want to do. All wrong what you do. And he's teasing Indra. Although my two arms are cut, still I am correct. Although I am losing this war, still I am winning. That's the great point. You may lose the material battle, but you win the spiritual war. That is what is important in life. You may lose the external battle, but Vritrasura is actually the person who's got victory. That's what he's trying to tell here. What do you understand by victory and defeat? That's all useless. Go ahead and do it. Anyway, some people get victory, some people get defeated. But I am victorious. Why? Because I am connected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is always victorious. That's what he's telling here. He is the cause of creation, maintenance, and annihilation. He knows everything. Vritrasuraka, oh Indra, no one is guaranteed of being always victorious but the Supreme Personality of God. I am connected with him. I will always be victorious. Though you may think that you won the war, victory is for me. It's such an amazing situation. You can go around telling that you won the war. Fine. Be happy. In the material world, everybody will give you 10,000 more likes and say, wow, you won it. Vritrasura lost it. But actually, Vritrasura is saying, you didn't win. You actually lost. In achieving the goal of life, you lost. Your life is unsuccessful. It's useless. Because why? You're going to be born again. Again, you will do the same thing. Somebody will trouble you again. And again, you will run around like a mad fellow, cutting that fellow this way. Because you're Indra. Indra will always do that. 100 Ashwamedha Yajna, if you do, you can become Indra. Post. Even you and me can do it. It's just that we're not able to do it. Nobody told you about it. And even if you do it, you may, not be very excited about it. 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas, if you do, you're qualified to be Indra. So whoever does any Yajna in this world, Indra will come and attack because he's thinking you're trying to take my post. So he'll come and attack them. Always agitated, keeps watching, scanning from the top. Anybody doing any good thing, stop it. Because they will achieve pious credit and they'll come and try to take over my kingdom. Put him down. Do something to him. Send Ramba, Kilotama, Menaka, drop him from his austerity. Do something to him. This is Indra. Sadaha samudvigna manaha. Always disturbed because of material desires. But Vritrasura is saying, go ahead, you do anything to me. You cannot destroy my bhakti. That is between me and the Supreme God. And that is growing. It has grown very nicely. Now Krishna is going to take me back to Godhead. I die, I go back to Godhead. You die, you are born again in this material world to die again and again and again and again. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Jatasya dhruvo mrityur dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Tasmat apariharyam martena tvam sochitum arhasi. If you die, you will be born. If you're born, you will die. But that's not going to happen to me. I'm finished. I'm done with this. So, Vritrasura is advising us, hold on to the ever victorious Supreme Law. That's why it's called Vijaya. The last shloka of the Bhagavad Gita says this, Yatra Yogeshwaro Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanurdhara, Tatra Sri Vijayo Bhuti Dhruvani Tirmatir Mama. Wherever there is Krishna and Arjuna, that means Krishna and his devotee. Right? And you will see that Yatra Yogeshwaro Krishna, Yoga Ishvara, Supreme Lord. Wherever there is Krishna, Yogeshwara Krishna. And wherever there is that person, Dhanurdhara, Arjuna, means his devotee ready to follow the instruction of Krishna. Tatra Sri Vijayo Bhuti. There will be wealth and opulence. There will be victory and there will be highest morality. This is the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita, last shloka of Bhagavad Gita. Because if Krishna is there, there will be victory. This is what Vyasadeva told Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra is his son, blind king Dhritarashtra. He was getting very afraid. Everybody is in the battle. I'm sitting here in the palace, blind. I cannot fight. I cannot go and witness anything. So Vyasadeva gave him his disciple Sanjaya. He will give you running commentary of what is happening from here only. He has got that mystic capacity. He'll give you running commentary. But then he will ask, what will happen? Then he will say, what will happen? All your 100 sons will die and the Pandavas will win. How? Jayastu Panduputranam Tasham Pakshe Janardana, he told. Victory is for the Pandavas because on their side is Krishna. That is enough for you to know. How the details know, you don't have to know. Definitely Krishna will win. Why? Because it's Krishna. Wherever he is there, it will be victory. So your foolish sons and you who advise them and encourage them will all die. Will all die. Still Dhritarashtra had hopes. Anyway, let us see. He heard the whole Bhagavad Gita. He heard the whole Bhagavad Gita from Sanjaya. No change happened. But on the other side, on the battlefield, Arjuna is hearing the whole Bhagavad Gita from Krishna. Is completely changed and surrendered to Krishna. Karishe vachanam tava. I will do what you say, Krishna. I am param brahma param dhama pavitram paramam bhavan purusham shashvatam divyam adidevam acham vibhum. He declares Krishna to be the supreme after hearing the Bhagavad Gita. And he is fully surrendered. This is what happens to him. But for Dhritarashtra, nothing happens. He is hearing the Bhagavad Gita. First hand he is hearing. Directly what he is hearing, first he is only hearing. No change happened in him. No change happened in him. He could not connect with the supreme absolute truth. Like Vritrasura did. Like Arjuna did. It is your personal decision. You want to or you don't want to. Many people know the whole Bhagavad Gita by heart, but they don't surrender to Krishna. I have met all these people many times. They give wonderful lectures, but they are not surrendered to Krishna. So they also will not get what Dhritarashtra got. Yati ichhasi tata kuru. Now you must do. Iti te jnanam akyatam dukyat kukyataram maya. You may know, but you must do. You must actually do. Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam are not meant for just sitting in the class alone and hearing and then going off and then continuing to do the regular thing that you have to do. It should change your life and you should be willing to change it. So what? Changing for the good only. Make it happen. Make the change happen. Allow yourself to be changed. Allow Krishna to change you. He's sitting in your heart waiting for your permission. Will you take what I tell you? Because if you don't accept it, I can't force you. Krishna won't force you because he is not Hitler. He won't force you. But out of your own volition, out of your own desire, you must do. That is why I call it is a relationship situation. Krishna is asking you to establish relationship with him and be influenced by him and then do the right thing. But you want to do the right thing without getting Krishna's influence. There's one type of people. And then others who say, to hell with you and your instructions, I do my own thing, my own instruction and my own way of doing things. Most of the people in the world are like that. And they fail. So, recognizing what is Krishna's instruction actually, why is he saying that, and why it is good for me, is also an internal exercise we have to do. Prabhupada said, you don't have to follow me because I am saying it. You have to understand and follow. He said, you don't follow me just like that, without understanding. You understand what is mentioned. I am repeating Krishna's words, right? You understand it and become inspired to follow it, because I am following it. And Prabhupada showed in his life that he was following it. And my life is successful. You can also be like that. Nothing that I am doing, you cannot do. In fact, Prabhupada said, my followers should do more than what I've done. He said that you should do more than me. It's possible if you desire and you want to do, Krishna will sanction it. That is the type of thinking Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada had. He had a feeling there's unlimited service that you can do for Krishna if you want to do. Like Vritrasura is doing. Like Dadichi is doing. Dadichi gave his whole body. The demigods go and ask him. Indra and the demigods go and tell him, only if we prepare this weapon out of your bones can we kill Vritrasura. Please give your life, your body. What a request. Huh? You can ask money, we ask donation and all that. We can ask donation, they'll give you easily. He's asking donation of your life. And can you imagine these things will happen? You'll read all this in the Bhagavatam. Very high class thinking. Vishnu has advised the demigods, you see, because he's involving them in understanding what is exactly. So why? Because Dadichi will speak something to them. They'll go to Dadichi and say, this is what has happened, please help. You are also living in this world and you are a great Rishi, sage, and Vishnu has told us that you will do it. So the demigods are telling him, you should give your life. Then only we can take your bones and we can make this weapon. So Dadiji will say, no, I have a lot of things to do in life. How can I do? Just like you don't do that. Will you do that, Indra? If I tell you, give your life, will you do? How do you expect me to do it? How do you expect me to do it? So Indra got very bewildered. Correct. Why am I asking him to give his life? No, Vishnu told me. That's fine. He's immediately telling. Vishnu told me. I know Vishnu told, but you tell me, will you give your life like this? He's asking Indra. Indra is not able to say, if Vishnu tells, I will give. He doesn't say it. He doesn't say it. He doesn't say it. And that shows the difference between Dadichi and Indra. Between Vritrasura and Indra. You can see the difference. Dadichi will simply make fun of him. He has already decided. Vishnu has said, that's it. My life is for the Supreme Lord. If he says so, I'll do it. What is his life for? I got a great opportunity. Vishnu has directed all of them, go to Dadichi, he will give you his life. Tell him I told you. He will immediately give you. But he wants to tell Indra, I don't think you will get it so easily. Vishnu told, so you go through some lessons. Before I give my body up, I want to teach you. He taught him. No, I don't want to. No, please, you are so great, you are that, you are this. And Indra did all sorts of this thing. And finally, he said, okay, I will decide to give. Not because the Devatas were telling, because he knows Vishnu is ordained it. Why? He'll go back to Godhead. He'll go back to Godhead. What is his body? What am I doing inside that? If Krishna has already decided, hey, give that body to this fellow, come back to me. It's a great thing to do. It's a great thing to do. So he has already decided. So they go to Dadichi and ask for donation of your life. Your material life, you donate. Earlier in the Bhagavatam, you will also read that King Yadu, he will ask his sons. King Yadu? No. What's his name? Starting with Y. Yayati. Yayati will have illicit connection with his servant maid. His wife is Shukracharya's daughter. He's married Shukracharya's daughter. and Devyani, he will marry. And he will have, and Devyani and her friend Sarmishta will have a big fight. Because all of them together are friends, nice girls. They go one day. This Sukracharya's daughter is a big Brahmana's daughter, Brahmani. And the Sarmishta is a kingly Kshatriya lady. So they all girls together will go to take bath someday. At that time, Shiva will come that side. So they'll all rush to take their clothes and cover themselves. When they go to cover themselves, by mistake, Sarmisha will take Devyani's cloth. All emergency, They cover themselves. They don't have closed bathrooms, glass bathrooms, and all those type of things those days. They're all taking bath in the stream, in this private place for ladies and all like that. So sometimes these type of things happen. So they all rushed and took their clothes and covered themselves to pay respect to a great personality. At that time, by mistake, Sarmishra took Devyani's cloth. And then Devyani got very angry. Because she's higher birth. I am from Brahmin family. So she immediately let loose her anger. Look at this low class. She uses all sorts of words, I forget, very dirty words. And tell us they're trying to take higher people like us, our cloth and this thing, you are like this, you are like this. And then Sarmisha get angry. Just emergency, I just took something. What are you doing? We were just friends, we were all swimming together and we were talking together. Suddenly you become somebody very great. Just to understand it, no? She didn't, she kept telling this and that, you are like this, you are like that. All you Kshatriyas are like this. You are living out of the picture we are giving as Brahmins. All sorts of things she will say. Then she says, shut up. Both of them will fight. And two ladies fight, they'll fight like nothing. So she physically fought. And she took Devyani, as Sarmishta took Devyani, took off her clothes and put her in the well. Threw her into a bottomless well. So this is what you deserve for talking like this. You and your Brahminical status. Nonsense. And they all left home. She was naked inside a well. She was screaming, I am Shukracharya's daughter. Say what I'll do to you now. Podi. She just left. This is a big scene. And finally, this great Yayati comes that side. And he finds, wow, beautiful lady inside, naked lady inside the well. What more does a Kshatriya want? Oh, heroic, I'll save you. He saved her. She came out and she said, you are a king. And this is a type of a meeting we are having. No, you saved my life. You must marry me. He said, of course I'll marry you. You're so beautiful. He got married. Then she went back to her father and she said, that's what has happened. That girl, that Sarmishta should be punished. So father of Sarmishta came and paid obeisance. So I don't do anything to this thing and all that. So then whatever she wants, you satisfy. Otherwise, I'll curse you. It's all high class stuff going. So she said, I am married now to King Yayati. I want Sarmishta as my servant maid. This is the best type of revenge. Throughout my life, she will be serving me. One of the many servant maids will be Sarmishta. So Sarmishta said, I have to do what I'm supposed to do, but she also had her own plans. She is also beautiful looking. So he said, you want to make me a servant maid? See what I'll do to you. I will attract your husband. And so she went and had an illicit affair with the husband, with the Yayati. And Yayati had children from her. And you can imagine how angry Devyani would have been. She came to know this. She came to know it. Then she got really angry. And she went and told Shukracharya, Father, look at him, what he has done. So, Shukracharya cursed Yayati. And said, you lose your youth and become old. decrepit, old body you'll have, like a very old man. So you become an old man. And he went and begged his sons, Puru, is it Puru and all of them together, can you give me youth? Can you give me your Yavana, youth? I am not yet satisfied myself. I want to enjoy life. The father going and asking the sons. First son said, Father, I also want to enjoy. Can I give you? Then second son also said, I also have my own plans. I'm a spirit soul who come here to this world with my own plan. So you did some mistake, got yourself, into this situation. What can I do? So father, desperate, went to his youngest son. The youngest son, he told his father, my dear father, you only gave me this body. It is by your mercy that I got this body. So you have a right over this body. If you want, you can take. And he gave his youth to Yayati. And Yayati again enjoyed with Devayani. Now Devayani settled him. You don't, then they continue to enjoy life. So, King Yayati, he got and begged for youth. And he got it from his youngest son. Sense gratification is so strong, the desire. And whatever success we have in sense gratification, everything disappears at the end of life. Nothing remains. And you're born again. Again, you chase the same thing. But if you perform devotional service to Krishna, that remains in your account. That remains in your account. So as much as we can fill our life with devotional service, if you carefully understand this, an action should be devotional action as much as possible. Everything cannot be, obviously. We are stuck up in this karma, in this situation. But to the greatest extent that we can, we must offer to Krishna our mind, body, words in seva. And Krishna notes it. Krishna notices it. So that is mentioned here. Victory means rendering service to Krishna in your life. That is victory. Everything else you do will not help you. It will just help you with some good karma, bad karma. And you will come back again to this world to suffer and enjoy. But real victory means going past this and rendering devotional service to the Lord. That is why it is mentioned here, wherever there is Krishna in your life, you will be victorious. Take Krishna's advice. All this man-made advice, all these man-made laws and rules that people make, we are sucked into that. But we should try to, as much as possible, render service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhakti Vinoda Swami Prabhupada has made these places for that. We are building a abode for Lord Jagannath, a bigger one, for more people can come and take part in devotional service, and more of them can be introduced. This is the meaning of Sanatana Dharma. This is what is the meaning of Sanatana Dharma. It is not that like people define Christianity is like this, Islam is like this, but Hinduism is not a religion. It is a way of life. What do you mean by way of life? This is what it is. Rendering service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is called Sanatana Dharma. Anything else you do is a way of life. Anything else you do is a way of life. And everybody has got a way of life. You cannot have a way of life. You should have the way of life, which Krishna is mentioned. So your life cannot be any way you can choose. It's not like that. It's not mentioned like that in the Bhagavad Gita. This is the way. God's plan is already being given. Krishna has spoken about it. This is the way you should live as a being and become successful. That is the way of life, as mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Om Tat Sat, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Any question or comment? Anybody has a question or a comment? You're free to ask any question. Yeah. Vritrasura is a very exalted devotee. His previous life was Chitraketu, who by his meditation was able to see face to face Anantadev, Balaram, Sankarshana. So he is very exalted consciousness. We may not be such exalted consciousness. So we are reading about Vritrasura and getting inspiration to become like that. So we must also understand that right now my priority, my conditioning and all that is involving me more and more in the world of matter. I must get inspired by Vritrasura, like Vritrasura, to be involved more in direct bhakti yoga, in service to Krishna. The more I do that, the more I'll become like Vritrasura. Vritrasura is totally absorbed. When Parvati cursed him as Chitraketu, when cursed him, he just very humbly undertook it with a nice feeling. Okay, my dear Parvati lady, if you think so, let it be so. He was able to take it. And his consciousness has never changed. So that is a person who is fixed. Fixed. So we are maybe not yet fixed ourselves in Krishna consciousness. Again, our faith is very tender. Komala Shraddha. Very easily, any material things happen, get shaken up. We get shaken up. But Vritrasura is an example of a person who anything you can do materially to him. He doesn't, his consciousness is so fixed in Krishna, it will not change. Okay? So everybody can fix themselves in Krishna. Sthita prajna ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava sthitadir muniruchyate. Krishna is explaining in Bhagavad Gita. Sthita prajna, one in fixed consciousness. How is he? What does he do? Arjuna asks these questions in Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna explains. Such a fixed person is like this, like this, like this. So the business of life is to get inspiration from great devotees like Vritrasura, Chitraketu, and learn to fix ourselves in the absolute truth, Krishna. We are sadhakas as we gradually perform our sadhana and make incremental progress and gradually become fixed. So we may be as sadhakas, we may not yet be fixed. But by reading about Vritrasura and the pastimes given in Bhagavatam, we become inspired to do our devotional service more seriously, to become more fixed and fixed faster. That way we can derive inspiration. That's why we should read Bhagavatam regularly and discuss it. Satam prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti hritkarna rasayana kataha tad joshanad asva pavargavartmani Shraddha bhavati anukramishyati. With faith, bhakti will slowly rise in your anukramishyati means gradually. If you keep doing this, if you keep sitting and hearing Bhagavatam, asking questions, reading the Bhagavatam, thinking about it, chanting Krishna's name, serving Krishna, slowly it will happen to you. That is mentioned. Any other question or comment? Om Tat Sat, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki.